Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. So this next and last video that I'm gonna be watching is reacting to is Koffeine. Again, I've reacted to this one as well. But I'm just gonna give a. But I feel like I've reacted to like 3/4 of what I of this video. So there's gonna be some stuff that I couldn't see and may or may not do like an extra 5 minute discussion about this. Yeah, we'll see. Go subscribe to them. Um their I think their channel is Kofi, what's it, Kofi YT. Yeah. So hold on, sorry, one second. There's some ants over here. Sorry. All right, what's this?
Welcome to the Koffeine Cafe, where we don't serve coffee, we serve updates on unsolved mysteries. So welcome to the classified lost content, or DLC. But before that, check this out. Oh, we move.
And speaking of us, I'm Z.
And I'm Lisa. I got too excited.
Hi, Z and Lisa.
Okay.
Ever since our first Declassified with Welcome Home, a lot's been going on with the Welcome Home community. There were definitely a lot more things that we couldn't fit in our video, and even more from fans, artists, and writers that probably still wouldn't be able to fit in this one. However, we did have a lot more to say after attempting to make a definitive guide to the project's prologue. As mentioned, this is a follow-up to our previous video, so you might want to go back and check that out for the full context before diving into this one.
I've already seen enough.
You ready? You back? Okay. Cool. Let's go. What we missed. So as thorough as we tried to be with our coverage on Welcome Home, obviously we wouldn't be able to get everything, from tiny details we overlooked to updates that came around after the initial recording. There may have been a number of things that went over our heads in our deep dive into the neighborhood. So, what were they? Okay, I'll need to be transparent. By the time I'm researching this site was taken down temporarily, and the next time it goes up, there will be a new update. So I looked through the Welcome Home Neighbors subreddit to check out some details that I didn't get to see the last time, and the very first thing that comes in the form of some image file names, something we're familiar with from the guest book. But there are even more with images of Wally Darling. There's this one with the file name happy to see you.png. This next one saying thank you for inviting me in.gif. And this iconic image titled you're here.gif. So it appears that Wally is aware that you're seeing him, and we all know how he interacts with us, but what stands out among these is thank you for inviting me in. Like most file names and interactions we've had with Wally, they tend to be a simple acknowledgement, or that one bit where he says stay quiet. But thank you for inviting me in stands out because it has a sort of demonic type of vibe. You know how demon spirits or even vampires only come in when they're invited in? So yes, we do have that hint that Wally Darling is communicating with us, the viewer, via the file names and illustrations, but it furthers it by saying that by engaging with the project and the website, perhaps we're doing something more to invite him to do something, to come in, come out. Another thing we missed out was something that was pointed out in the comment section by Insam Pibrock 278, specifically about Z's theory with the Axis Mundi and how home could be acting as a panopticon. A panopticon is generally defined to be this concept of an all-seeing eye, a camera or...
Yeah, you got it wrong, I'm afraid. Yeah, so a panopticon is a circular prison with cells arranged around a central from which prisoners could all obtain secret service. Yeah, it's like one of those like reality shows like Big Brother and stuff. You know, like where they end up like have one of these like mirrors that have like these like mirrors though. But then when you see at the back of the mirror, there's like it's like a glass to it, and then there's like cameras like on the back of the mirror slash glass in the back. So yeah, I know what it is. So yeah, I mean, home could possibly be a panopticon, but is he a circular one? Wait, does it have to be circular or not? I don't know.
lens that surveys everything, typically seen in the prison setting. And in this case, home definitely fits the bill. For one, home's eyes seem to dart everywhere on the neighborhood page, and while we just thought it was home acting a little quirky, and some pointed out that they appear to be observing the neighborhood in all directions at all times, except for two blind spots, Frank Franklin's and Sally Starlet's house. Now, thought it was home acting that surveys everything, typically seen in the prison setting. And in this case, home definitely fits the bill. For one, home's eyes seem to dart everywhere on the neighborhood page, and while we just thought it was home acting a little quirky, and some pointed out that they appear to be observing the neighborhood.
Adding to Z's theory about Access Monday, I would also propose that home is
In all directions at all times, except for two blind spots, Frank Franklin's and Sally Starlet's house. Now, Ensa
Why?
mentioned some guesses as to why, and we'll get to this when we discuss even more theories in the comment section later, but this does lead us to more questions.
I did see in one, I think I seen one comment of this saying how, well, if I can find it, either it is, like I noticed the creator had changed his profile picture into Frank. I have a theory Frank might be the next character who try would try to contact us once we get the update. Yeah. Does Frank know that this was gonna happen, or is it just a coincidence? Because again, I feel like, hold on, sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, Frank is like one of the two blind spots of home, I believe. So he may know. So he may either know that something is going on in this so-called neighborhood, or which we would like to call the cult, or is it something else? I'm not sure. I mean, Sally could be next on the list.
What exactly is Frank and Sally's place in all this, and why does everyone else need to be watched? Please, Frank and Sally's place in all this, and why does everyone else need to be watched?
Going back to the idea of like, thank you for letting me in. It kind of reminds me of that one portion of the Q&A or the FAQ.
Yeah,
was
the
it?
FAQ.
Yeah.
Where wasn't there hidden text where it's
Yes, there was hidden text, like when you
the hidden
highlighted.
text that said something along the lines of, "Does it hurt?"
Yeah, that stands out a lot.
It does stand out a lot. Like giving the two contexts together, like you let something in
Yeah,
and it hurts.
yeah.
What does
Sometimes you gotta face the consequences when you make something that is really just load of bull, like just a running bull, like just a load of running bulls. You gotta sometimes face the consequences of those.
that mean? Like that's the first thing that stood out to me, honestly.
Yeah, this definitely opens more questions than answers.
It definitely opens a lot, kind of like how you open your door to let in vampires. Also, big question: is Molly not a fan of garlic bread? Because if he's vampiric, does that mean he can't eat garlic bread?
That's so sad.
Anything that's garlic.
But like, if he eats with his eyes, like, does that mean it'll just hurt his eyes?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like that's gonna be like something that the peeps are gonna do at the exhibition.
Yeah, but another thing is where were these things? Like, how did we miss them?
They were actually from details around March 2. They're pretty early. I'm not sure how we missed them. They could be things that have changed. Like, we probably saw an updated version where it wasn't as easy to find them.
That's true.
Because by the time we got to the website, there were already some changes that were made.
Oh yeah.
Also, thank you for everybody who left a lot of information in the comments of the last video.
Especially Ensa Pibrock. There was a lot of information.
There was a lot of information. It really did help.
I mean, there was like a lot of theories by the time you guys come into, and a lot of like bull just happening in the in the community now. So you're welcome for that. What was-
Make this video really.
Additional theories. In our previous video, deep diving into Welcome Home, we introduced three possible theories regarding what in the hell is actually going on here. Obviously, with more observations, findings, and fan art, we managed to concoct even more
Fan art?
theories.
Where would you add that?
Director-producer's theory. This idea works
You
alongside
should
our
contact
recasting of
the
Welcome Home,
creator's
where we
art.
mentioned that the cast and crew
What
of the
the?
show somehow turned into puppets. We can't really say who got turned into who and how this was even possible, but this is where Frank Frankly and Sally Starlet come in as the producer and director. It may be a little too on the nose for Sally, who is known to be a director for the show's theater-related skits, but there may be a hint that she's being forced into the role itself. Not to say that she doesn't like directing, but there is that mention that she's sort of put in those random mishap-type situations for comedy's sake. But for Frank Frankly, we thought of him.
Oh, we gotta go back to that.
There is that mention
Fairy tales with many were focused on fairy tales with an abnormal turn, either at Sally's will or her expense. Wow. Oh gosh. You've put her a lot of peer pressure. You put a lot of peer pressure into her role. Wow. That's like that's like multitask at its finest. I mean, it's clearly that it's multitask, but I mean, it can be easier sometimes, but it can be hard. It depends on the experience itself.
that she's sort of put in those random mishap-type situations for comedy's sake. But for Frank Frankly, we thought of him as the producer because
Why?
there's something different about him compared to the other characters in Welcome Home. For one, while every other character seems to have a note that they're not from home, the neighborhood, like they're from the forest, or an apple in the forest, or some
Everyone
unnamed
except
place,
Wally.
Frank himself doesn't appear to have an origin or hometown that's noted, as far as we know at least. There's
Seriously? So wait, if he's so wait, he could be like one of the founding members of the cult, but he home has a blind spot on him. How does that make sense?
also that note that we mentioned before that any hint of logic or reasoning tends to be ignored by the other characters for comedic effect, but could it hint at something more? Would questioning the logic around the neighborhood be something that maybe isn't allowed? Maybe something that leads to some consequence?
This is one of the theories that we had to scrap from the original video, because there's a lot to consider
Yeah,
here
yeah.
that wasn't as well
You can
refined back then, but now it.
yeah. You can handle you can handle theorizing at a 30. You can handle like 100 theories at a 30-minute video.
It's a little bit more. But I do have a question.
Yes.
Did they put themselves into this situation, or were
I mean, considering how the fact you just say, "Oh, Sally doesn't want to be in this situation," but that's not because she doesn't like it. It's because it can be abnormal, eh, depending on her depending either on her will and expense. It could be the same for Frank though, but different. But if they did push themselves into it, then wouldn't there be consequences of it? I mean, a blind spot is an advantage at this point, but um, there could be a uh, there could be some stuff happening to them that ain't gonna be good. Nope.
they cursed into this situation?
I didn't think
Oh,
of that because
Yeah.
I always ask that.
It only occurred to me now because who's putting Sally into that kind of situation and
oh
why?
yeah,
Like if Sally was a director
yeah.
and
You're
Frank is the
yes,
producer, why are they part of the show,
True.
right? And why specifically?
they're always part of the show. What do you mean? Oh, you meant like the casting. Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, that does explain a lot. I mean, it does explain to me a lot. 90%. because it can be it can be it can be sometimes a bit like confusing at most of the times, but it doesn't it doesn't explain to me a lot 10% because I mean like there's just one show that I think just ended like last year, and one of the actors of that show here in the Philippines, one of the actors of that show was also like a director of it. So it doesn't doesn't like spark of it. It doesn't like spark the remaining 10% of it, but it does spark 9% of it. Considering the fact that Sally has conditions though,
Technically, the
I
director,
don't know.
like, why is the director the one being kind of tortured?
Oh
Torture
yeah,
is a strong word, but I do wonder if we'll be getting that in an update.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's another thing that I want to see from the updates. What is their part in Welcome Home as a show outside of that? Because with Frank, there's a
you meant what is their outside role of the show? And when you said outside, you meant like the production, the the making, all that stuff. Man,
lot, right? Like Julie's best friend, the possible relationship with someone, and basically everyone's mocking him for being kind of a smarty pants, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
What do we know about Sally?
we don't know too much. We don't even have a lot of details about Sally yet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Especially with like the pins or the badges, because the pins and the badges just represent like Sally's pins and badges just represent like what she is actually. Like she's just a star. I don't know what she does. I don't know what she does on her daily basis. Who knows about it?
We just know that she is not even from Earth.
yeah,
Yeah,
which is another thing. She's not even from Earth.
Yep.
Where does she come from?
Fell from the sky, baby.
yeah. The night sky at like 3 a.m., like three o'clock in the morning, where you're having a deep sleep.
Is she like a fallen angel being tortured or something? I know, like there were a lot of religious imagery removed here, but that's very specific still.
Spoilers
Religious.
for a brief mention
Religious.
later.
Yeah.
Religious. A website that tries to connect with, no, an ARG that tries to connect with religious and astronomy. I don't think that's gonna work.
Lastly, before we move on, going back to the idea of let me in and
Oh
does
yeah,
it
yeah,
hurt?
yeah.
If
This is
say there was an entity that you let in, were they turned into the puppets because they let whatever it is in?
Oh,
I mean, considering the fact there's two entities, 50% yes, but 50% no. Who knows?
Right?
those are good points, by the way. It actually is a good segue into.
Because if I pause the video, then it would just end up like not synchronized with, like the audio of the video won't synchronize with the with the recording itself, like the video recording. So it's just gonna be some mess about this.
Oh,
Right?
those are good points, by the way. It actually is a good segue to puppet purgatory. We have mentioned the concept of purgatory in the previous video, but just in passing, with some images that we've mentioned are no
Yeah.
longer considered canon, but hear us out. This sort of works with our resurrecting Barnaby theory, but it expands it further from being just Barnaby to everyone else at home. This theory, of course, suggests that Welcome Home is a sort of purgatory, obviously a sort of limbo where spirits reside. And where else can these spirits reside than inside some
Puppets, yeah.
And while many theories try to answer the question of what's currently happening to Welcome Home and what led to the sudden restoration project appearing, this particular theory tries to ask the question, what happened to the show in the first place?
Yeah,
what events led up to the cancellation
yeah.
itself. We
What
see
did
a few
what
mentions
made
in the
it?
guest
What
book
made
saying, "Oh, it's a
the
shame
show
what happened to the
cancel?
show," but we're never actually told what happens. So yeah, was it something intentional or was it an accident?
So,
I
what
would
do you know
say,
about
I
purgatory?
would say, I would say intentional. Cause clear, you can't just have like some employee who just who's just being like a psychopath that just likes to just do ritual to demon rituals and stuff like that. Like you can like it's gonna be intentional. It's 99% intentional and 1% accidental.
Sort of the either in between of heaven and hell, or generally what we got going around here. But
Oh yeah, what was it? What's purgatory? I don't know. Like same goes with torture, I guess. I mean, I don't know like the full context. Sorry, I don't know like the full context of purgatory. Even if I knew like half of it, it's just torture. Again, like I don't know the full context of it. I may need to not miss mostly my English classes right now from now on, like the starting my class, starting in starting on the day that my classes are about to start, because I really need those English lessons.
the realm.
Yeah. From my understanding, is it kind of like a place where one soul goes into because like you're kind of in between
Yeah.
heaven and hell,
Balance.
and in
Yes.
order to get out, like people have to pray for your soul or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Other times it's a
sacrifice.
place where your spirit like goes to when you have unresolved business.
Yeah, unresolved business, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
You're
people
sacrificing
pray
yourself to
in
finish what you
the
started.
living world to help you, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that kind of remind you of something? It kind of hit me in the middle of recording, actually.
Oh yeah.
What
What?
is it?
What?
I wonder what it is. Do you guys know what I'm thinking about?
No.
That's right. I don't. Wally.
What?
What? No, I just did it.
Oh what?
I just did it. The whole thing. Like
The
when shows like this goes
oh my god.
breaking the
The
third
fourth
wall,
Oh,
they're asking the audience to help them.
oh my god! How have I not figured that out? That is unreal. That is madness. That is mad. The fact that I can't figure that out, that was mad.
Oh my god, you're right.
Right?
Oh, that's so
It's,
crazy.
it's
Yes,
kind of
yes,
like
yes, yes,
it's
yes.
kind of like a prank.
It was so obvious, like like the way how you say like the way how Z was saying like, do you know? Do you know what? Do you know like? Do you know what it is? Like it's so obvious. And Lisa just went, "That's right. I don't know." Oh my god. Oh my god, that is amazing.
Here,
You guys are
that kind
legends.
of thing, or is that how it also
Get
works?
them to
Like,
1
it's
million
like
subscribers.
emphasizing the whole thing. Thank you for letting me in, and how Wally and the project itself lends itself to be interacted with.
Exactly.
Oh, crazy.
But
Let's
not
go.
just the project itself, like the actual show concept.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
say Blue's Clues or all of that.
Yeah.
Not sure if this is all correct or like if this is
I mean I believe you. I believe you. Cause I mean it's it's an educational kids show, okay? There's gotta be some purgatory fourth wall moments on that show itself. Even if it's outside the of the curtain itself or inside of the curtain or whatever, like it's just gonna be happening the same thing. It's just gonna be like in a different atmosphere, like different places and different stuff.
Intentional. It's just kind of a fun thing that I realized.
Or like Pappy Land.
What?
What now?
Pappy. Pappy drew it.
Pop? What?
Okay.
Julie.
Pop?
Okay.
Julie Joyful. Our third theory speculates that Julie Joyful and or her family may be the masterminds of Welcome Home's horrors. There are only two places we see any mention of her family outside of the neighborhood. One is on her character page, and the other is this piece of art. And
Yeah.
this piece is actually pretty interesting, given it's one of the few physical remnants that are shown, and it looks destroyed. Like,
Few physical remnants of the show. Oh, I was about to say, like, what about the doll? What about the Wally doll? Is it not a physical remnant of the show? And I just realized that doll ain't even like 1970s style, right? I forgot. But what about the vinyl? Isn't that a physical remnant of the show, or is it just something else that is just being like created like this this year? I mean, there's 2000 stuff. Hello. Does 2000 stuff of the does the current stuff of the show like or like remasters of like the old stuff of the show are are counted as remnants or physical remnants of the show, or even if it's not physical or physical, like, you know what I mean?
botched or meddled with somehow. It appears to have been manipulated to make it so one of the siblings behind Julie look almost demonic in nature.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, they're technically all monsters, but the silhouette itself stands out. As for Julie herself existing in the
They're
neighborhood,
just good
well,
ones.
she is the only one with horns, adding more credence to her being some sort of demon. There's also this photo of Julie having a little girl boss moment with Eddie, and now this detail is outside of the website and coming from Cloud's Tumblr, but apparently Julie has this little game where she's the CEO of a failing company, and she would like barge into the secretary's office and destroy everything, saying the company's in shambles, blah 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 blah. And it's all fun, playful, and silly, but you can't help but think that it may be foreshadowing something or even hinting at something more.
Yeah.
What
Especially
are
that
the other
one, like,
residents in Welcome Home? Like, specifically profession-wise. So we have Wally, who's the resident artist.
Yes.
Barnaby,
The
who
leader.
is the clown.
Howdy is a shopkeep. Sally is a director. Poppy Partridge, I know she lives in her little barn. She likes to knit. She likes to bake.
bake.
That sort of thing.
What?
Doesn't she also
Bake,
come up
like,
when
and then like with eggs and
they
stuff.
need to do some
Oh,
sort
no.
of creative aspect in the show?
Yeah. Oh, yes, something like that. And with Eddie, who is also the arts and crafts guy, but he's also a mailman.
Mailman, right?
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah,
kind of
mailman.
like a teacher. And there's Frank,
A
who's
boss.
the resident intellectual, I guess.
Yeah.
What's Julie?
Girl boss.
No, really, think
But
about
true,
it. Think
that,
about
what
it.
is Julie?
Because it adds to that idea that if everybody has some sort of role
Oh, no.
in Welcome
Welcome
Home,
Home, yeah.
what's
What's
Julie's
Julie,
role?
yeah.
The only notable thing about her is that she's the happiest
Yeah.
True.
member of
I mean,
Home.
is there anything in her badge that represents what she does in her daily life, or is it just one of the, or is it just one of those, or is it just the same like with Sally though, like how it's just like badges Sally just represents like what she is actually. I don't know.
Could she be like the equivalent of what you call it? The business side of the creative project of Welcome Home?
But she's only playing pretend. That's very noted there.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. She's just
So-
Yeah, she's just playing pretend, like she's just playing actor.
playing pretend.
And
Actress.
specifically the idea that like she pretends to be in a failing business.
Yeah, that's
She can be here, because here's the thing. She can either be She can either be. Wow, we already have minute. That's great. She can either be. I don't know, like a manager or some sort. Like she can either be a manager, um, uh, president of Playfellow Workshops. What else? Accountants. No, no, not accountant. I don't know. I'm just trying to like think. Aside from secretary, because there's a chance that actually no, maybe she is. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's out.
It stands out as very suspicious, and the first picture that's ever received, the very first one, by the guy curating the website, was the one of Julie and her siblings
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was destroyed, with the back character, her brother, presumably,
maybe.
being bigger
Yeah, being
More menacing.
very demonic.
and more demonic. Not only that, isn't Julie the closest proximity to home in terms of where she used to be? I mean, there's Howdy, who also lived in the
Yes.
woods, right? But she
Yes.
also lived in the woods, specifically with her siblings
True.
in a cave in the forest, right?
I mean, if there's like mountainous regions, though, I'm not sure if like if mountains have like. I mean, there can be quite some time there where mountains can have caves though, but if there is, because I've just been playing because I'm just a Minecrafter. But if there is though, then wouldn't be that the location of the neighborhood is in the forest or like the mountainous regions or some or stuff like that. Just that has to do something with nature, like with a natural atmosphere.
Yeah.
So
Even if it's obviously
everybody
there's
else
like
came
trees.
from somewhere else. Howdy, I don't know how to explain. Howdy's a caterpillar. He's cool.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's
I,
cool.
I like that we're putting so much on Julie and just like, oh, Howdy also lives in the forest. And he's like,
Yeah.
nah, he's cool.
Like, I'm not saying Julie may be the mastermind, but never trust a girl with pigtails.
She has a
Especially the big poofy
ponytail.
ones.
She has a
Wow.
ponytail.
Doesn't she have pigtails?
And like some art. Wait a minute.
That's,
Wait a minute.
what?
What?
Wait a minute.
What is that?
I have a ponytail.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Before getting into some more theories that came from the comment section, we would like to thank today's sponsor, World Anvil. World Anvil is a site that allows you to write, organize, and publish rich settings and complex characters. Right, World.
Oh my god. What a what a savage move by Z.
Build and manage your stories all in one platform. And if you check out the link in the description below and use code KoffeineYT, you can check out everything it has to offer for 40% off your first year. That's KoffeineYT for 40% off your first year. Now back to the video. Comment section. Discussions surrounding Welcome Home have not ceased since its initial blow-up, and on the video as well. So, here we're going to take a look into the observations and theories from you guys in the comment section. To start off, we've seen quite a few comments regarding the nature of home and Wally. We have a comment from Butterlover suggesting that home may be representative of the company itself, which is something that we actually completely overlooked in our discussion of Welcome Home somehow, since there is a bit of a mystery surrounding the company that owns Welcome Home, as there's very few remnants of the print and mention around the
Yeah.
restoration project site.
There's remnants of the show, but no remnants of the company itself. You know what I mean?
However, if this were the case, is it possible to pinpoint the company itself as the source of the evil? Could they be the antagonist, the victim, or something else? But if we were looking into the possible victims of Welcome Home, Wally sort of takes that given his place in the main stage, the restoration project. There are many who consider him to be the victim in all of this, one way or another. Butter suggests that he may be
There's
pupkeep.
times where I could think that he's not the victim because the based from what I'm seeing right now, like as of this week, like based on what I'm seeing right now in the community, I'm like Jesus above all heavens, man. What is this? I all I'm just seeing right now is just eyes, all eyes all over.
By this, Casey Magic Girl 1313 suggested that he may be held hostage himself and is trying to warn people somehow. But
Wait, what do
warn
you mean
people
hostage?
about what exactly?
So the idea of home being the company itself is something that we should have thought about when we first discussed this.
Yeah, with the Playfellow Workshop, I cannot believe we did not consider the Playfellow Workshop.
Adding to the idea that this is like, you
I
know,
mean, it's a good thing that you guys didn't consider that yet because, I mean, it can be a bad thing, but there's times where it could be a good thing because what's this called? Again, there's no information about the company of it yet. There's not also information about what just happened in 1974.
director, the producer, all that. What if the whole company became trapped in some sort of limbo where they became a children's show? Like that it's right there. It's right there.
There's a possibility.
There's actually another piece of evidence that adds to this. Wally trying to soothe home with a song. And what
Trying to sue home with a song. What? I don't. I don't know.
does Wally say after the song?
That's all Barnaby taught me.
Yeah, it's all.
I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, I get it goes with like I think Barnaby. That's what Barnaby taught me. Do you like it? And then there's just like banging over it. I don't know the rest of the lyrics because I haven't heard the song. But as far as I'm aware, it's just about a beautiful dreamer ready for a revival. Matt Pat, don't sue me for that. I'm just quoting you. All right, fine. Quote unquote, ready for revival.
Yeah.
Now, what if that's like kind of a commentary on like work stuff, like Wally being like the star child, the company's gem, you know,
the golden boy.
the golden boy,
like-
exactly.
the main guy.
The more he goes up the ranks, the more overworked he is, all that kind of thing.
The main
Maybe
guy.
I'm just projecting. but no matter what he does, it's not good enough. But they keep bringing him up to the point where he's the only one left. But it's not enough because he doesn't know everything.
Yeah.
That's an interesting.
There's a lot of things that he has to learn, and being on the side of a cult or just literally making a cult isn't one of the right things that he was supposed to learn. No.
Take. I think I've seen a few AUs and comics that dive into that.
Yeah, I'm not into the AUs. I'm not too sure either.
Yeah, or
Not even just the AUs, like the theory
Alternative.
comics as per.
Yeah,
I see.
the comic ones, yeah. The fan made comic ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's her.
I see.
Yeah. She's streamers' theories lean more towards the demonic ritual theory, which involves the whole aspect of resurrecting old friends to return. And now there are a huge number of AUs and headcanons that take this route, and for good reason, since there seems to be a lot of hints that Welcome Home is taking a darker turn akin to the demonic. We have also mentioned the idea of Wally trying to bring back his fellow neighbors, but not exactly in how he's going to do that and how they disappeared in the first place. Lilo and Stitch fan 926 has a theory regarding why they might have been eliminated, detailing each individual, which is quite impressive, but we're
Sorry.
all still pretty much in the dark about it. Mike Ardem also notes that Sally Starlet may be a fallen angel, sort of adding to the more demon idea with, of course, an angelic counterpart. Now, none of these are currently canon since it's a developing project, but it's definitely a route that could maybe happen. And we're not sure if demons in a particularly religious sense are going to be coming up soon, but there's still a possibility that rituals may be involved.
A lot of religious imagery within Welcome Home was purged out of the project before it was canonized, right?
If I recall correctly, yes.
Yeah, because like my favorite image, the Baphomet kind of
Yeah.
looking image, as above so below, was uncanonized as well. So I'm wondering how much of the idea of demons and fallen angels and all that jazz will actually play a part into Welcome Home, because it's still very much coded in.
Yeah, we're not sure about like the particular Christian religious identity of it, but who knows? Like,
It's very much coded in, and it's hard to ignore that certain parts of it does kind of echo demons, like some sort of satanic ritual of some sort of purgatory. Again, like going back to that idea of purgatory, it's all very religious, and going back to the idea of the Axis Mundi, like this is all very religious imagery.
Yeah.
Are we still
Cult.
going
Not
to
religious, cult.
explore that theme? Like, was the purging not to remove it, but to hide it more?
possible. I mean, we'll have to wait for the next update to see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
I'm looking forward to it as well.
And
Once.
then we have this theory from Ensam, who we mentioned before regarding the phenomenon theory / observation. But there's a lot more. You also notice a difference in Wally's eyelids, sometimes being depicted as red and other times blue, suggesting that this may be another distinguishing feature between the two in the dual Wally theory. While we don't fully understand or know why this is the case, nor can we pinpoint which Wally is which, there may be some meaning behind the distinction of colors. This can even move further into the idea of there being two Barnabys, or at least something important with the red and blue of his character, especially since we know Wally paints Barnaby's paws from one color to another in that one illustration. But again, we don't know which Wally is which, or even if the two Wallys are different and that one is good or the other one's bad.
I mean, there's two
We don't even
entities
know
of it.
either of their intentions.
This actually was an original theory that we had, that we were going to include in the original video, but we scrapped it because there wasn't a lot of information that we could have used. But given this, it adds more to it. For context, this theory eventually turned into the dual Wally theory, but it started off as everybody having some sort of darker side, or as we called it, the grumpy neighbors.
Yes. It's kind of what inspired the grumpier illustrations that we had in our original video.
Yeah, because one of the things that we found was, say, one, apparently Frank has a tendency to get
Become
mad.
grumpy,
He is
yeah.
also one of the only few residents that is depicted frowning,
Yes.
the other being Wally.
Yes.
That adds to the question, is there just one grumpy neighbor, or are they all two characters in the same row kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
And they're
Like
just
Barnaby's footprints. There's a set of blue, and then there's a set of red. What does that mean?
What
and
does that mean? The paw print from the original video, we grasped onto that paw print like God.
Yeah, like was it blood? Was it like Barnaby dead? Or with the idea of Wally having blue eyes, red eyes, is that also an indicator that there are two Barnabys? If that's the case,
yeah.
what happened? Is this like a doppelganger kind of thing? Like
Yeah.
where if you meet your own doppelganger, something bad happens?
Actually,
yeah.
yeah, that's a good point. Is it a doppelganger situation?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm back. So I mean, I heard it though, apparently. So there's nothing to worry about that. But considering the fact that you said doppelgangers, I mean, if you're gonna watch the stream or like the the re-upload one, it's gonna be on YouTube. Um, you could tell that there could be, considering the fact that I watched Matt Pat's theory about that one about Welcome Home. So yeah, nasa kwarto.
no, it's nice food for thought.
Yeah. Deep dives, new observations, new theories, AUs, and even OCs are being made every day. And it'd be impossible to do a complete update on Welcome Home, at least before the site is back up with actual new updates for us. So for now, while we wait for Clown to bless us once more with the story, we can only look back and see what else we missed and how else we can try to predict the trajectory of the story. We can't say for sure what is and isn't canon, and we can't even predict the accuracy of any of our predictions. But we would like to thank everyone who joined in on the discussion and commented all of these fascinating theories. Again, we even got
Yeah.
a few more in our shorts, and we can't keep all of them in this video, otherwise it would be very long, but we really appreciate all of them, and we did use them to fuel this video, so thank you. This project is such a delight to look into for the art of it, for the horror of it, the sheer passion of the project. So we highly suggest you guys go and support Clown or Party Coffin on their socials. We also suggest that you check out our previous video breakdown on Welcome Home if you'd like some more base information on the topic. And we'd like to thank our members, Butter and Shifter.
And our cafe producer, Nick.
And if you'd like to help support our channel as well, consider joining our memberships.
No, thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Alright, yeah. Like I said, go subscribe to them. Go subscribe to the people that I reacted to, especially Matt Pat. Shout out to them as well. Uh, Link will be available in the re-upload ones. Not right now. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the stream. Um, yeah. Bye bye.